Hi, fourth graders. How many of you like to work on puzzles? Well, in a puzzle, each piece has an important job to do. It has to connect to others and help make the puzzle whole. That's a lot like stories. Each part in the story connects to others and helps to make the whole story. Today, I want to remind you that each part in the story has an important role to play. A part might show the problem in the story, for example, or it might help explain the cause of what happens later. Readers pay attention to parts that stand out and ask, why is this part here? Now, remember when we read the passage, One Day and One Amazing Morning on Orange Street? We are going to be referring back to that today. So I'm going to pull that up here for us. And then I have some of it is on our lesson though, but I will have this, keep this right here. But so I have our lesson here. Well, now Miss Carla, let's get this right. Okay, so let's pretend that the test makers ask for the passage we read the other day. How does paragraph such and such, that means they're going to choose a paragraph and they're going to ask us about it, of One Day, One Amazing Morning on Orange Street, support the theme. That's the overall theme of the passage. They might have worded it differently, asking, what theme does paragraph such and such, that's the paragraph they have highlighted. Either way, it helps for you to keep in mind. The theme that emerges at the end of the story. The theme usually comes out strongly at the end of a story. So when you read a story, you can really when you get to the end of the story, the theme is going to be a lot clearer. So, but when they ask you the question, you need to think about the part they're asking about. Say right down here, this is the part they want to know about, just this little section, but you need to think of the whole. How does this part right here, this little paragraph, connect to the whole passage? And when it asks you, it's just going to ask you probably about, what, and the paragraphs are usually numbered, or it's going to be highlighted for you. Okay? Now, let's say the test makers highlighted paragraph 21 in One Day and One Amazing Morning, asking how that part supports the theme. This is the part to the whole. I'll read the part aloud, and then you're not going to be jotting your answer. I just want you to think about your answer. Mrs. Snoops stopped in mid-sentence. She reached for the rusty metal cookie tin. What do we have here? Oh my goodness, can it be? She opened the box slowly, then peered inside. It is. Shirley, dear old Shirley. It's so good to see you again. Now, whenever we were reading that and you were looking at it with me, were you hoping that the theme was just going to pop out and it was going to be like one of those right there questions? Because unfortunately, we can't look at theme that way. You have to think of theme as a think and search, because a theme is going to be in a paragraph. It's part of the whole. So we need to think that, look at the lines around it. We do not want to proceed with questions about theme thinking that we can just look at it and find the answer. That's not how we're going to answer those questions. Remember, the paragraph is part of the whole passage, and the theme for this paragraph would be part of the whole passage as well, but they're definitely going to connect. So, first you need to figure out an important theme. Once we've read that passage, you need to figure out what an important theme was for the passage you just read. And if you look right here, you can it'll come out strongly at the end of the story, or you can, look in places and think about the theme. What do you see that the entire passage is talking about? Or in this case, how they were talking about making memories, and maybe the theme could be how important it is to value your memories. All right, now let's think about this passage. Did you notice, like, when Mrs. Snoop told Allie she remembered she wanted to write her memoirs, she said, "All these treasures you've shown me have brought back memories. I am so grateful." She said she wanted to write the stories of Orange Street. So if we look back at our passage, and you can refer back to your passage as you need to. In any time when you're doing these standardized tests, you can always refer back to your passage. But when you're looking at this, and here at the end of it, suddenly Miss Snoops jumped from the couch, still clutching the doll's head. "That's it," she cried. "Memories. M is for memoirs. My wonderful idea was to write my memoirs." Now, memoirs are just like a biography, an autobiography. She was going to write her memories of her life. "All these treasures you've shown me have brought back my memories, and I am so grateful. It's been a lot of fun," Allie said. Miss Snoops had begun to pace the room. "I will write down all my stories about Orange Street before I forget them." So what might the theme be for that story? What is the passage teaching? What life lessons? You need to think about themes. When you're reading these passages, you need to be thinking about themes as you read it. Maybe not the first time, but the second time, definitely be thinking about themes. Now, on this, also in this passage, there was a part, and we're going to talk just a little bit more about some way that we could find a theme, and how the part connects to the whole, and how we can find the overall theme for the entire passage just from, say, one paragraph from the passage. So let's look right up here. All right, I'm going to read just one more little paragraph. It's paragraph 12 in this passage, and I want you to follow along, and let's see what a theme could be in this paragraph. "She held up the icy blue stone. It twinkled in the sunlight from the window. I would bet dollars to doughnuts this is one of Pug's stones. He collected unusual ones. The boy's pockets were so full of stones, sometimes his pants dragged. Pug would probably say this one looked like a heart." So what do you think that a theme from this, just paragraph 12, could be? Maybe that what can be junk to some can be a treasure to others. Because Allie just brought a stone, nothing fancy or special, but Miss Snoops gets excited about it because it reminds her of her past. And there you go. It's a memory, and that means that it connects it. That part becomes part of the whole, which is to treasure your memories. So now you're going to have, for your assignment today, you're going to read a passage, and you're going to answer the questions. And remember, it always won't be, the test makers do not always ask you how this part supports a theme. They might also ask you how one part connects to another part. But either way, you need to be sure that you treat these questions as ones that are asking you to think about the whole text, and to think about between the passage and the rest of the text. You've got to connect the part they're asking you about to the whole passage. All right, y'all have a great day.